What's up, everybody? My name is Designer Dave. I'm your local lyricist, and I'm the host of our show here, Road to a Record Deal. So, who am I? I am an elementary school music teacher by day, copious drinker of coffee, drinking a lot of coffee throughout my day. Do my best to stay healthy, stay in shape as best as I can. And then, I'm also a rapper, multi instrumentalist, a producer. In this series, you're going to follow my path to a record deal. We're going to have check ins, and you guys are going to see the progress every week. So, I guess the question is why now? So, I've been making music professionally for about 5 years now. I dropped my first album in 2021 in September, and I'd been making music myself before that, but that was my first major release. And yeah, here we are 5 years later, and I'm not where I want to be yet. I would say that things haven't been working necessarily. There's been growth, there's been change. But in terms of the raw numbers, right, what it looks like, I haven't made much progress over my career so far, and I'm very much ready to. I think the way I've been doing music so far, the process creatively is always great, and I've really pushed myself creatively, but then the process of promotion and trying to get myself out there has been really lackluster for a variety of reasons. Mainly, if I'm just being honest with you guys, kind of from a passive mindset. You know, I would drop music, and on more than one occasion with my drops, I've been like, okay, I'm going to post it and I'll just see. Maybe someone out there who's relevant will see it, and maybe something will come of it. Which I don't think is the best mindset to have when it comes to making music and wanting to be successful with it. So what changed? Well, I have had a kind of love-hate relationship with songwriting, which was what I went to school for. I went to Berklee College of Music. I graduated in 2024, and I got my degree in songwriting. And when I first started doing it, I really struggled because growing up, I was like an instrumentalist. You know, I played a lot of guitar and bass and did a lot of singing, played in bands and stuff. So I wasn't very tech savvy. It wasn't until I turned 17 that I started to use technology, start recording in GarageBand and then Logic and all of that. So it took time for me to get my 10,000 hours in just with my DAW, with Logic, which is the one that I use. And so, I started out making what I could, I've made, beats that I think are pretty cool, but I don't feel like I can make what I really want to make. And over the last, close to a year now, but over the last little bit, I finally have started sampling regularly, which is a big part of the music that I make now. And I've gotten to experiment, My favorite artist is Earl Sweatshirt, and I have really tried to kind of emulate that style in the music that I've made. Now, the thing about that is that music isn't out yet, at least at the time of making this video. And I think it's really good, and I'm not discounting it at all because I would love to drop that, and I plan to, part of this series. We're going to be going through the process. We're going to be seeing, my workflow. We're going to be seeing what I'm working on, how I think about music, how I create it, and there's so much love there, but it's still, me kind of wearing my influences on my sleeve, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've made the music, I'm at a point where I wouldn't say satisfied creatively, but I've proved to myself that I can do this, and I've started engineering as well to being able to mix and master my own stuff, which makes me able to completely independently release music, right? So I'm at that point where I want to release my music and I want to get out there because I believe in it. At the end of the day, I believe in the music. I believe in my abilities. I'm not the most confident person, and especially as a rapper, I would consider myself not a very confident rapper, all things considered, but I'm stepping into the role, So I guess the next question is, why do I want a record deal? Well, I want a record deal because I don't really want to be doing every part of the process forever. I have a very strong work ethic. I can work hard. I can do a lot. I need guidance, and I think having a record label will give me that structure. Now, if you guys really want to know the answer to why I want a record deal, I will tell you, all right? So this is me opening up a little bit, but in 2023, when I was in college at Berkeley, I had a bipolar episode, which I don't know if you guys know anything about bipolar disorder and how it works, but this episode was very, very impactful. It was a manic episode, and it landed me in a hospital, in a rehabilitation center. And since 2023, I have basically had to be on meds to make sure that an episode like that doesn't happen again. And I'm grateful, very grateful, and very lucky, because this only happened once. It was intense, it was scary, and it took a while to recover from, but I did it, and I've been on meds ever since. I haven't really missed a day, in the last almost 3 years now. But I think what I want from a record label is a little non-traditional, because at the end of the day, my thing is that I need health insurance. I need my meds to stabilize my mood, to make sure that I don't have another episode again. And so that's a real priority to me. Now, I know it's unconventional. Not every artist is going to go up to a record label and say, hey, I'd like health insurance, But that's really what I'm after. I would like to be a self-sustaining musician. I'd like to be able to support myself. And having health insurance in a structured way is really going to help me out. That's really kind of what I need in order to live my life the way I want to live it. So, I guess the question now is, what's stopping you? So, I have a couple hindrances that hold me back from being able to secure a record deal immediately. Before we go there, let's talk about what I think a record label is looking for, right? So I assume they want to see a few things. One of the things they want to see is talent, all right? That's a given, okay? I think I have that. The next thing they want to see, I think they want to see consistency, right? Consistent output, consistent posting, right? Dropping music, whatever it is. They want to see that you're not going to go ghost and just disappear. And the last thing, which I think is probably the most important one, they want to see the engagement, right? They want your numbers to look good, right? So I think in order for me to do what I want to do, I have to leverage a really nice looking monthly listener count, really good YouTube subscriber count, and if possible good on like TikTok, Instagram as well. Like to see music being dropped and just content. I have to get myself out there. And I'm finally at a point where I feel ready to get myself out there in more ways than one, because again, I didn't really become a rapper and become an artist to make YouTube videos. But I'm excited and inspired for the challenge, and we're going to go on this journey together and see how I can make my way to a record deal. And I'm going to say that I'm going to do it. I'm going to manifest that, even though it feels a little weird to say. But that's my goal, and we're going to go after it. All right? You guys are going to come along for the ride.